Hey everybody, we are live from my garage. How is everybody doing? Welcome back if this is your return visit. A big welcome if this is the first time that you are watching me live. My name is Mark, I'm in the UK. I do fireworks, I do them professionally, I do them as a hobby. And yeah, we do live streams, we do all kinds of content on my channel, firework related. Everything is legal. We don't do anything that's not family friendly as well on this channel, so it's suitable for the whole family to watch. You won't get any bad language or anything inappropriate on this channel. So welcome in. We'll wait for a few more of you to come on. I know this is a bit of a surprise stream. It wasn't scheduled. I just thought about an hour ago. I was like, do you know what? Let's live stream, because I've been working a little bit on my kind of layout, my tech setup here in my garage. Those of you who've watched me from my garage before will probably notice that this wall's changed colour. Last time it was white. I've basically kind of rearranged stuff around because I thought this makes a little bit of a better backdrop to me than a white wall. So we've got some brick here now instead, and the lighting's kind of different. We've improved the lighting. We've got lighting above. We've got uplighters. We've got all kinds of stuff. We're also gone multi-camera as well. We'll show you that in a little while. We've got a number of different cameras with different angles and stuff. So if you've watched some of my streams from my garage before, you know we did it on a single camera, and it was always quite tricky because you'd either watch what I was doing here, but you couldn't see me at the same time, or vice versa, and I couldn't show you close up. So we've kind of been thinking about that for the past few months, and so we've got a new setup which we'll show you in a little while. Let's say hello to a couple of people. Craig was the first in the chat. Welcome, Craig. Nice to see you this evening. Who else is here? We've got Jammy. Say hi, he's live, legend. Welcome, Jammy. Kay Wilby is here, says hi, Mark. Ollie says nice backlighting. Thank you. Yes, I can change the colours of those as well. I've been playing with different colours. This kind of orangey kind of thing sort of works at the moment. I might tweak the lighting a little bit. I have spent the last couple of days actually trying different colours with lights and things like that. So I hope it looks okay. So yeah, this is my garage. Welcome in everybody. 6 of you here at the moment. I know I wasn't scheduled, wasn't planned. What are we going to be doing tonight? We're going to be talking about my channel, because my channel's we've got over 2,000 subscribers now, which is amazing. Thank you. And I know it's not about the numbers. I don't do it for the numbers, but we hit 2,000 a few months ago. So thank you everybody if you do subscribe to my channel. It's much appreciated. If you don't yet subscribe, why not click that subscribe button and enable notifications? And that way, if I do go live like this, or upload videos and stuff, you will know about it, because I don't stream to a schedule, I don't load to a schedule. I know a lot of people do. It's just as and when. So best thing to do to be notified whenever I go live and put new content out is to subscribe. Jaden is here. Jaden Phillips says hi, Mark. Hello. Bulletproof Mum is here as well. Hello, good evening. Welcome to my garage, the all new improved kind of new look garage. It's the same garage but just a different wall, and I kind of think it works a little bit better. Yeah, we've got some new streaming hardware, so we can do new kind of great stuff. We can do cutaways to video clips and images and all kinds of stuff, and we can do close-ups, and I'm really excited. So I've invested in this channel because I love doing this, and I know you guys enjoy my streams and my content as well. So I've done it for you guys as well. So welcome in everyone. Let me show you some of the cool things we can do. So obviously I have this camera here. This is the kind of normal camera, but then I also very cleverly have an overhead shot here. So when I'm doing stuff, there we go, let's wave. When I'm doing stuff here on my table and showing you fireworks and stuff, you guys get a bird's eye view as well as that view there, which is really cool. And then we also have another camera that does kind of close-ups on stuff right here as well. You can't quite see, so we can do close-ups of all kinds of different things if I need to show you something close up as well. So yeah, we've kind of gone multi-camera, and I can also cut away to videos and all kinds of cool stuff. What else can we do? Let's have a look. Let's try this. We can also do things like this, where we can do a split screen thing so you can see me from 2 different angles at the same time. It's really cool. It's really clever. I'm really excited about how this opens up my channel and improves my streams. So hopefully you guys will like this as well. Kamara Brocade is here as well. Evening. Everyone's saying, yeah, everyone's saying welcome. Action cam. No, these are GoPros, but I say there's a number all kind of all over the place. So we can do lots of different cool stuff now on my channel, which is really cool for my live stream. So I'm very excited about that. I've been testing it a little bit, but this is the first time I'm using it on a live stream. So we'll see how it goes. So how is everybody doing? Long time no see for a lot of you in the chat. I know a lot of you have been messaging me over the past months and stuff and saying, when are you coming back to YouTube? When are you coming back to YouTube? I'm never that far away from YouTube. I do read all your comments and I do check regularly. Obviously, for some time of the year, I'm not as active with fireworks. We're kind of getting into that season now where we are starting to get towards bonfire night and the fireworks season. And of course, I have a young family as well, so obviously that takes up a lot of my time. Live streams are kind of not really planned, they just kind of happen. My video content that I upload, I do put a lot of time into those. It does take me a lot of time to edit those, and so that's why it does take me quite a while to put some content out. But there is lots more content coming soon, and you may have noticed I put out quite a bit of content last week, and we'll talk a little bit about that shortly, because it caused a little bit of... well, it's caused some issues in the industry. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a while. I probably need to work out, I'm still sort of working out this setup. I probably need to get a way to get the laptop up here so that I can still be looking at the camera whilst I'm reading chat rather than reading chat down here, because chat's down here at the moment with a screen and lots of other kind of gubbins down here. So we'll figure that out. I almost, you know what, I need it almost like projected on that white wall over there, which you guys can't see, but if you watch my previous streams, the white wall's behind there. I could probably kind of do it on there, so if the chat's kind of on there somehow on a big screen, then I could read the chat there rather than have to... We'll work it out. Bear with me, guys. This is still... this is a brand new setup, and hopefully it's going to be working. Okay, so, and then I thought we could also chat as well about some of the new fireworks that are coming out this year, and just have a general chat and stuff. I don't know how long I'm going to stream for this evening, but you guys know sometimes I stream for an hour, sometimes it goes on 4, 5, 6 hours. It's not going to be that long tonight. But I just wanted to say hi to you guys, let you know I'm still here, I'm still doing fireworks, and there's going to be lots more content coming up this year. My display in Liverpool's been confirmed for November, so there'll be lots of setting up and prep and stuff for that, and I'll be streaming that, of course. My Manchester display, which if you follow my channel, got cancelled at the last minute last year. I'm hoping it's going to happen this year. I've still not had a full confirmation, with like 3 months away from it now, but there's still conversations going on about that, so I'm hopeful, touch wood, and this is wood, well, it's an OBS board, hopefully that will happen as well. But you guys, you know, if we do that, then we'll do a lot more, prep and stuff to get ready for that. So what did I want to talk about tonight? Well, if you watched my channel last week, I put out some videos of some new really exciting products from Vivid Pyrotechnics. They brought out a range of single shots. These are single shots. They're just shot tubes that send out a single effect. And some slices, which are basically like lots of shot tubes kind of in a row like that, and they all fire together, all Z firing and things like that. If you didn't see those videos, by the magic of kind of this new streaming technology, I'm gonna show you those now, just so you know what we're talking about. I'll show you the single shots first. So single shots, there's about 11 different effects. Some of these were 25mm tubes, some of them were 30mm, and the effects were so good. If you've not seen my review, go and watch it later, but here's a little preview of what they look like. Let's see if this technology works. So as you can see, those were, oh, I've gone to that shot. Didn't want that shot, let's do that. Let's go for that one. So yeah, those were the single shots from Vivid, which I fired. That's my footage. I fired those a week or so ago, and they're really good. They also did a series of slices. Let me show you the slices as well. So those were the slices and the single shots from Vivid, which came out last week. And I know lots of you guys were excited about those, as well as I, because I was so excited by those. And lots of you have been commenting on those videos saying, oh, when are they available? Where are they available? How much do they cost? All those kind of good things. I'm very sorry to say these are no longer available. They've been withdrawn from sale by Vivid Pyrotechnics. Why? Well, there were some issues with the labelling on them. I highlighted one of them in one of my videos, which affected one of those slices, the T1 slice. I didn't highlight any other issues with the labelling on any of the others, like the single shots and things like that, but Vivid have taken a decision to withdraw all of these, which I am absolutely gutted about because I was so looking forward to these. Until now, until we had these, the only thing that was on the market really for consumers for single shots were these things. These are by Classic single shots, and they're 30mm. These require a safety distance of 25 meters. So if you're doing smaller shows, these are not ideal. But until now, these have been the only things on the market. And then Vivid brought out these ones, which were really exciting. But labelling issues have meant that they have taken these off for sale, which is a shame. And I hope a resolution can be found to enable these to go on to be sold. It's not the first time that Vivid have had issues with their labelling. If you've been following my channel for a couple of years, you'll have seen that I was the first in the UK to fire this. This is Goldilocks, a fountain. Actually, I could put this on my, let me put this on my close-up camera. Let's see how this looks. There we go, there's the close-up cam. We need kind of a good name for that. Does close-up cam work? I don't know. Goldilocks, a great, great fountain by Vivid. Really exciting, came out in 2023. But there was an issue with the labelling on this when it first came out, and I will see if I can pull up an image of that to show you. Yes, I can. So this was the original label on that fountain. Now, I don't know if you can notice anything slightly wrong with that, but if you look just to the right of that red and white diamond logo, it says, warning, fire or projection hazard, no smoking. Keep away from heat / sparks / open aims / hot surfaces. Explosion risk in case of re. Do not good re when re reaches explosives. Store in original packaging in a cool, dry location away from any source of heat. So yes, any instances of fire, FI or FL, kind of got missed on that, and so that safety label didn't make a lot of sense. Do not goods when reaches explosives. So I highlighted this to Vivid back in 2023, and what Vivid did instead to allow these to be sold is they reissued a new label. So if you bought one of these fountains, you might not be able to see, but this section here is actually stuck on, this square. It's stuck on over the top of the original label, and as you can see on this one, the text is all okay. Let's try and get that reflection off it. And there we go, so you can see. So you can see, yeah, so the labelling was all sorted. Vivid sorted it by issuing relabels, stuck on over the top of the faulty labels, and that enabled this to be sold. And this is an amazing fountain. I like this a lot, and I've used this in my displays. So that's what Vivid did when there was a labelling issue there. This year, they're not going to change the labelling on these. And I think it's probably because it's not cost effective to do. This Goldilocks fountain, I think retail about £20, something like that. So for the sake of printing out some labels, it was doable. These retail, or were meant to retail, at about £1.50, £2.50, something like that. So if you were to factor in the cost of having to relabel hundreds, if not thousands, of these single shots, I think they've decided it's not cost effective to do, which is a real shame. And I hope that for next year, for 2026, they can get these issues corrected, bring in a new batch next year, and you know the labelling can be correct and we can all be happy and we can all use them. So what was the issue with the labelling? We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just say hello to a few more people in the chat. Who else has come in? Elena says aloha, Mark and everyone. Thank you. Jamie says cool setup. Yes, thank you very much. Family first says Kate. Yes, obviously I have, those of you who know, I have a 4-year-old daughter. And what you won't know is that I also have a pregnant wife, and we're going to have our second child at the start of December, which is very exciting. And you want to stay tuned to my channel because we're going to do a gender reveal with fireworks. I did one 4.5, 5 years ago for my daughter, which was very exciting. I'm going to do another one for our next child. And of course, because this time of year it's still light till quite late, I'm going to maybe do a daytime one with some daytime fireworks. So that's going to be quite interesting. So stay tuned to my channel for that. That's probably coming up the end of this month, maybe start of next month. We'll see. I digress. Let's see, everyone's saying hello to everybody else. Dumb and Drummer Explore says hello. Awesome way to spend my evening. Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're very welcome here. Congratulations, says Ollie. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jamie, snap my wife due to lay our third in September. Yes, wow, third. We're probably going to stop at 2, but we'll see. I'm not getting any younger. Right, so yeah, what were the issues with the labelling on these Vivid things? So the one that I highlighted in my review video, let me pull up that image if I can. There it is. Let's go to that one. So this was one of the slices. Now, to the 4 slices that I had, 3 were category F2 and 1 was category T1. We've talked a little about categorization of fireworks before. Basically, there's F1, F2, F3 and F4. F1 fireworks are your indoor fireworks. Typically, they tend to be things like sparklers, ice fountains on cakes, things like that. F2 are garden fireworks, F3 are display fireworks, and F4 are professional fireworks, which are not available to everyday people. They're only available to those working professionally. So that's category F1, 2, 3 and 4. We also then have T1 and T2, which are technically theatrical pyrotechnics. T1 is available to anyone. T2, you have to be somebody with specialist knowledge to use. So 3 of these slices were F2, so technically garden fireworks, although you'd need a pretty big garden, quite a wide garden to be able to fire those slices. And 1 was category T1. Now, what I like about category T1 is it has a lot more information on it about the effects and distances and things than F2 stuff. Typically F2 fireworks have 1 distance. It'll say like spectators need to be at least 15 meters away or 8 meters away. T1 products have more safety information. They have a radial safety distance, so that's basically how far away spectators need to be. But it also have information about the direction of the effect and how far, because sometimes with pyrotechnics you're going to point them at different angles and things like that, how far away things need to be from the angle or the direction of the effect as well. So it has all that extra information. And this is the information that was on the T1 slice. So it tells you the effects at the top. So 1.2 inch, 13 shot, fan-shaped red strobe and blue mine, combination of mines. NEC is the net explosive content, so how much explosives are in it, 331.5 grams. Cal is the caliber or the diameter of the tube, so 30 mil. Category is T1. We've then got a CE registration number of shots 13, minimum age limit 18, so you can't use or buy this if you are under 18. And then we get to the safety information, and this is kind of where the issue arose. So it says user read, it means must, read and follow the instructions enclosed given by the manufacturer. And then it says EECT height, E-E-C-T height, 31 meters. Now it should say effect height, and it's missed out the double F. So if you didn't know that, and because these were technically available to anyone, if you were to buy that, you wouldn't really know what EECT height meant, but it means effect height. So it means the height reaches 31 meters. Radial EECT distance, so again, radial effect distance, 16 meters. Minimum safety distance and direction of EECT, 44 meters. Minimum radial safety distance, 21 meters. So that in itself, okay, if you knew that EECT means effect, you can go along with that. So spectators must be at least 21 meters away, and distance from buildings and trees and things like that in the direction of the effect, 44 meters. Minimum safety distance, 44 meters. But then in the yellow blurb, it goes on to say, keep a safe distance of minimum 45 meters in all directions to people and easily flammable materials. And the other issue on here, which again I didn't highlight at the time, these came with fuses. Now normally T1 pyrotechnics come electronically fired. You don't usually get a visco fuse on a T1 product, usually. This particular slice just had a visco fuse. It didn't have an electronic igniter. Only had a visco fuse, which you light with a flame, and then the effect goes off. But the labelling on here said use only by electronic ignition. So obviously that's confusing, because why put a fuse on which people would light with a flame if you're only meant to light it electronically? So there was quite a lot of confusing information on there, and because it's safety information, it needs to be correct, it needs to be accurate, and Vivid have taken the precaution of saying, right, okay, we're not going to sell this item because the safety information is wrong. Just like it was with the Goldilocks fountain a few years ago, which they rectified in time for this to be put on sale. Same issue again. It's a bit of a shame that Vivid didn't spot this before it kind of went out and was sold to retailers. So possibly some quality control issues there. Obviously, these are all made in China. These aren't made in the UK. They're manufactured in China. Vivid will send the specifications out. The Chinese will make them, and they get sent back to the UK. And really, somebody at Vivid's side, it would have been great for them to have checked. Now, obviously, you can't check every single one. Nobody's expecting Vivid to do that. But when they land in the UK, you know, if they'd pulled out a couple of these and just read them and just checked they're okay before they went out to retailers. That didn't happen in this case. So the slices and the single shots all went out to retailers. I got hold of them, fired them, noticed these issues, and as a result, Vivid have said we're not going to sell these because the labelling's wrong, and we're not going to correct the labelling. So obviously retailers are not very happy, because retailers have spent money buying these products, and they've been delivered to the retailers, and the retailers have now been told by Vivid that they can't sell them, which is a shame. Hopefully a solution can be worked out. I know some retailers are wanting to return these to Vivid and get a refund. I've heard anecdotally that other retailers are still going to sell them but are not going to advertise them. They're only going to sell them to certain customers. I've heard of other retailers as well who also have display businesses that are going to use these basically in their professional displays. So they're not going to be available to the public, but they're only going to be available for their own technicians to use in displays. So we'll see what happens. But that was the issue that I highlighted with that one slice. But as I say, Vivid have taken a decision to not sell any of the slices and not sell any of the single shots. If we have a little look at some of the labelling on the other ones, let's pull that up. Let's pull up one of the other slices. So this is one of the F2 slices. Now, I couldn't really find anything on the safety information here that was that wrong. I mean, the only thing on there, it says the firework contains 2 fuses. These slices only contain 1 fuse that I could see, only 1 visible fuse. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy there. It talks about, you know, locating the first fuse and remove the orange fuse cover and light the first fuse. So that was kind of on all 3 of the F2 slices, but that was the only minor issue really that I could spot with those. There were some issues that I've since noticed, because of course now that this is all blown up, I've gone through the safety labels with a fine-tooth comb, because there's things that I missed out first time round that I didn't pick up, but I have since picked up. And there were actually some labelling issues with the single shots as well, which I didn't notice at the time. But reading it again, and this is one of the things, you should always read the safety information. And I generally sort of skimmed through it, but I didn't read it well enough to be able to identify these issues. And that's kind of a lesson to me that I should have read it a bit more. But there is a little bit of an issue with the safety information on here. And I can probably show you on my, let's get the close-up cam going. Here's a close-up cam. So, safety information at the top. There we go. Oh, let's try and get this right. There we go. So it tells us 1.2 inch blue to red stroke mine, type mine, NEC, category, caliber 30mm. Safety information, so read, user much, read, I mean it should say must read, and follow the instructions enclosed given by the manufacturer. And it talks about the effect height there we go, effect height, radial effect distance, minimum safety distance in direction of the effect, minimum radial safety distance, 11. So again, that's all right. There's the double F's in the word effects, which is good for outdoor use only. The rest is okay. But then at the bottom here, it says instructions, let me get this right, instructions for electronic ignition for connection. The first way is from the side. Okay. The means of ignition is protected with short-circuited leading wires ends. Now, to me, that means these should have been pre-wired. What does pre-wired mean? Well, if we look at the classic ones, let's go back to, well, let's stay on this camera. This is one of the classic single shots. It comes pre-wired, so it has a, well, it comes pre-fused. Some T1 stuff comes, I mean, this isn't T1 actually, this is F3. T1 stuff tends to come pre-wired. It means it has an igniter already connected, so you don't have to put an igniter in. But these ones didn't. They just came with, let's see if this will show up. There we go. A hole at the bottom, and you plug an E-match into one of those. Let's see if I've got a, yeah, here we go. So let's pull this out. Oh, there we go. So there's an igniter, a spent igniter, and you push it into there. So normally these, the way the safety information is, it's kind of written as if these were meant to come with igniters in, and they didn't. So for that reason, the safety information on these doesn't make sense, because it's talking about the means of ignition is protected with short circuit leading wire ends. But then it also talks about open the side plastic plug. These all had little plastic plugs on the end. In fact, I can show you that on the little camera as well. Let's go to that camera. There we go. You pull those off and you put the igniter in. So it does talk about that. It says open the plastic plug, the side plastic plug. I wouldn't necessarily call that the side of the tube. I'd call that the bottom of the tube, but I'm maybe splitting hairs there. Open the side plastic plug, insert the igniter head into the hole and seal it up with tape, which is what I did. So that's the only issue I can find on there. I don't think it's I don't personally think that's a big safety issue, but again, Vivid don't want to take any chances, and I can understand that, because at the end of the day, if the safety information on a firework is wrong and somebody uses it wrong and somebody gets injured, then that's not great. So I totally understand. I'm gutted that Vivid have taken this decision, but I do understand it, because at the end of the day, you know, safety's got to come first with fireworks and pyrotechnics always. So I understand that. The solution would have been to just get new labels reprinted with the correct spelling and no missing letters and all that kind of information and stick these on. But again, if these are only retailing at £1.50, £2, the price for Vivid to generate the labels, send them out to retailers, for retailers to stick them on, you know, hundreds if not thousands of these, it's prohibitively cost expensive, you know, and I get that. But I say my hope is that if Vivid bring in a new batch of these next year, they can correct those labelling issues and these can finally be sold to everyday people. Why do we need these? Well, electronic firing systems are becoming more accessible to hobbyists, and so people want to do stuff to musicals and things like that, and really trying to do a normal firework which has a number of different shots to a musical is very difficult, whereas single shots that are electronically fired, you can time these to your music perfectly. And so as pyro musicals become more accessible to non-professionals, the need for consumer single shots and slices is growing. And I say at the moment, for the past few years, there's only been really these from Classic 30mm ones, which are really good. But I was so excited about Vivid's range of, you know, all these different ones, and it's a shame that they've been taken off the market. And it's a shame too that retailers are upset. I get that retailers are upset. Some of those retailers I know are upset with me for doing a video about these, which is disappointing, because at the end of the day, I'm just here to showcase these fireworks. I'm privileged to be able to have these and fire these and film them for you guys. And because I've got the footage out first, and you know, as a result of that, these issues came to light. Lots of retailers are unhappy with me. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision that these haven't been, these aren't allowed to be sold. That's Vivid's, the brands, and we have to respect that. So hopefully retailers can work something out with Vivid, and these won't go to waste. They'll still find use somewhere. Let me catch up a little bit on chat. R. Johns is here. Hello, R. Johns. He says, hi, Marco. Hello. Jeremy says, common sense would say several people should go through the label carefully before committing to it. Yes. I mean, obviously, you know, these labels will have been designed by Vivid and sent to China, because everything's made in China. China will have printed the labels and stuck them on the unit. Why there's spelling mistakes, I don't know, because obviously Vivid, the information that Vivid will have sent, I'm sure will have been correct and spelt correctly and, you know, made a lot of sense. I don't know how it's got changed and mangled. As I say, it's not the first time it happened, because it happened a few years ago with Goldilocks, where letters were just kind of omitted to the point where it made the safety information just gobbledygook. I don't know why that issue is, and why that issue, you know, 3 years later, 2 years later, is still there with Vivid. I don't know if other brands have had it. I'll be honest, I haven't really come across it to the same extent. But yes, I am surprised that Vivid didn't just pull a couple of these out when they landed in the UK just to read them and check them, and, you know, it would have avoided this, and we could have had these available to consumers. So yes, Disney World Freak is here. Carlos says hello. Hi, Mark. Everyone's saying hello to each other. You definitely did the right thing. Safety must always come first priority. Yes, and I say it's a shame that retailers, some retailers, not all retailers, some retailers have been extremely angry with me. But at the end of the day, you know, I highlighted this before these were actually sold to the public. I think it would have been a lot worse had nobody actually picked up on this safety labelling issue, and these had gone out to the public, and then, you know, there was an accident as a result of public misusing them, not reading the safety, not understanding the safety information because there's letters missing and things like that. I think that would have caused a bigger issue to retailers and the brand had that happened. So, you know, it's a shame that retailers are upset, but at the end of the day, it's a safety issue, and we've got to put safety first. I'm upset that I'm not going to be able to, you know, not going to have access to these again. But at the end of the day, it's a safety issue. Safety's got to come first. And hopefully the brands, when they get over the initial anger, will be able to see that. So hopefully. So yeah, so that's the Vivid slices and single shots, but that's not the only things that Vivid are bringing out this year. They are bringing out some other new products which, as far as I'm aware, are still being sold. So the only things that have been withdrawn at the moment are the single shots and the slices. Vivid have brought out a really cool spinning fountain. I got to fire that as well. I don't know if you guys have seen the footage of that, but I'm going to show you that fountain because it was really, really good. So let's have a little look at this fountain. So that's the new breakout fountain from Vivid. It's category F2, so it's suitable for gardens. It's a really lovely fountain. I really like that. I really want to fire another one and raise it up on a speaker stand and see what that looks like, because I imagine it's going to look even better raised up. It's not the first spinning fountain that's been available. There have been some other ones out, but I was really impressed with this one. So that's coming, that's landed. That footage there was my footage that I filmed a week or so ago. Really excited by that one. I'm going to definitely be using that in my displays, I'm sure, this year. Let's just catch up a little bit more on chat. Jamie says you did the right thing. Shame on any retailer that would put their own pockets before people's safety. Yeah, as I say, I think it was a knee-jerk reaction by a number of retailers, because at the end of the day, you know, they've spent their money on bringing in these items, buying these items from Vivid, only to be told by Vivid they can't sell them. So I get that retailers are angry, but I think hopefully once they take stock, they will calm down and actually see that, you know, safety has got to come first. Ollie says, it reminds me of zero blame culture in airlines, so that hazards actually get reported and dealt with before an accident. Yeah, and that's right. So, you know, I don't have any regrets of raising these issues, and I'm glad that it's happened before these have kind of been sold to the masses. Well, not the masses. I mean, you know, these are going to have limited appeal anyway, but I'm pleased that it's been highlighted before these have kind of gone on general sale, if you like. Jaden says, I want one of them this year. I think talking about that fountain. Yes, it's called Breakout. It's category F2. It's by Vivid Pyrotechnics and it'll be coming into stores very, very soon, if not already. It opens up as well. If you see my, go check out my review on it later, because it actually kind of, it didn't look that impressive. It looked quite flimsy, the casing, it only looked like it had a couple of tubes. But actually halfway through the fountain, it kind of opens up like a flower and extra tubes come out, and it's very clever. It's very impressive. I do love Vivid stuff. I've never, if I'm totally honest, I've never fired something from Vivid that I've been disappointed with. All of Vivid's products have been real quality, and I use them in all my displays. They're really good. I really can't fault them. Jeremy says, nice. Yeah, so new fountain from Vivid. Vivid are also bringing out now, I don't know if this one's going to happen now as a result of them pulling their other stuff, because this is T1 as well, but they've brought out what they call a DIY sparkler kit. So it's a way where you can make words, letters, using sparklers. Let me show you what it looks like. Again, this isn't landed footage because I'm not aware that there is any landed footage yet, but this is the video that that Vivid put out a few months ago, and see what you think of this.
Yeah. 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 That's fucking impressive.
So yeah, there you can see that it's a series of sparklers, 30 sparklers, and you can basically light a single fuse and it kind of lights them all in one go and makes words and makes letters. So, you know, that's quite exciting, because if you wanted to do that yourself, you'd have to use things that weren't really available to the general public. You could use ice fountains, yes. Mainly the ones you see in professional displays are ones that you can't, you know, the average consumer can't obtain. So it's nice they kind of brought out a consumer version of that. It looks okay, but it's category T1 again. So I don't know if Vivid are just going to pull all the T1 stuff and say it's too much hassle. We're not going to supply any T1 stuff this year. I don't know. But that's something they put out. So we shall see whether that emerges or not from Vivid this year. They're so like Lancework. Yeah, it's a consumer version of Lancework, because Lances are technically category F4. Lances are like little tubes with flames that come out different colours, and you can get, you know, you see good night and hearts and all kinds of letters and things, but they're category F4 primarily, and so they're not available to everyday consumers. So until now, the only option really has been to use ice fountains, which are the little F1 things you get to put on birthday cakes and kind of linking all those together, but it's not great. So I say Vivid brought out, or potentially bringing out, this sparklers kit, 30 sparklers. You can arrange them how you want, light a single fuse and it lights them all and burns like a minute and a half. So it'll be interesting to see, I say, because it's category T1, so is that going to still happen? I don't know. We shall see. But in addition to that, Vivid have brought out some big barrages, some bigger barrages. Again, these haven't landed yet, so this isn't landed footage, but this is the promotional footage that Vivid have put out for some of their new products this year. First up, I'll show you a 21-shot 30mm barrage. Here we go. Let's have a look at this one. So a new 21-shot 30mm barrage from Vivid. Doesn't have a name yet that I'm aware of, but it's a teaser video they've put out, and we'll see if and when that lands. They've also got a 72-shot 16mm fan cake. Let's have a look at this one. So it's an F2. It's built as a garden barrage. Again, you're going to need a bit of width because it is fan. There's some lovely colours in this. I really like this one. Again, I don't think it has a name yet, but There we go. So that one looks quite good as well. Don't know its name, so we'll wait and see. And then they've also bringing out a 632 shot compound. Compounds are becoming really popular. Compounds are basically a series of cakes or barrages that are all fused together to make one bigger firework, and they can last several minutes. I mean, I fired one last year, and you'll find a review of that on my channel, that lasted 7 minutes. One firework lasting 7 minutes. So Vivid have brought out, excuse me, a big compound, or are bringing out a big compound this year. 632 shots, lasts about 5 minutes. Let's have a look at it. So there we go. That's the new 5-minute compound from Vivid. It doesn't have a name yet. It's 632 shots, 20mm tubes. It looks pretty good, but again, I'm not seeing it yet with my own eyes, so I'll reserve judgment until that happens. But yes, a 5-minute compound from Vivid Pyrotechnics, new for this year as well. So lots of new stuff coming from Vivid. So yes, it's sad about the single shots and the slices, but the breakout fountain and these new compounds and barrages look really good. So lots to be excited about with Vivid this year. And I say, one of my favourite brands, been using them for years. They've never had a bad product. So I'm very excited about that. I also filmed a couple of weeks ago the new strobe rockets from Pyroworks. Now, let's talk a little bit about strobe rockets. In fact, let's show you the strobe rockets first, and then we'll talk a little bit about them. So these are brand new for 2025 from Vivid Pyrotechnics strobe rockets. Listen to the sound on these. It's really, really unusual. So yeah, those are the new strobe rockets called Masters of the Air from Pyroworks. They're new for 2025, although technically they were new for 2024, but they weren't available to buy. Why? Well, Pyroworks brought these in last year into 2024, and some people in the industry had concerns over how stable they were. Strobe rockets in general, because as you heard from that, they're quite unusual. A lot of their effect is in the ascent rather than in the brake. And they strobe and make a weird noise when they go up. And some people had concerns that they're not very stable, they have erratic flight. And if you saw the original China footage, I've not got that to hand unfortunately, but the original China footage before I got that landed footage did show a rocket going off at kind of a weird tangent. So people were concerned over the angle they were going off at, and also how stable the strobing compound was and would it break down over time. So as a result, even though these were in the country last year, they couldn't be sold to the public because the Health and Safety Executive wanted to do some more testing and things. That's all been done now, so these have been cleared for sale, and I was fortunate enough to get the first landed footage of those. And they're really unusual rockets, quite expensive, but as you heard from that effect, really quite different. I've never heard anything quite like that in a rocket. So they're quite exciting. They're coming from Pyroworks this year, which is exciting. Let's just catch up on chat. LSU Mum, hello Emily. LSU Mum is here. Our local community loves fireworks shows, so we get treated to a show for lots of holidays. That's really good. I like that. Everybody's saying hello to each other. So that's new from Pyroworks. Pyroworks have also got this year, let me see if I can pull up a picture of this. They're bringing in a selection box. Have I got a picture of this here? I don't know if I've got a picture of the selection box. No, I've not brought, but it's called Pyro Predator. Actually, I have got a picture of it. Bear with me a second, guys, and I'll get us up this. Let's get up this picture. Let's see which one I want. Let's go for. Here we go. Right, let's put this image on. Pyro Predator, a brand new selection box for 2025 from Pyroworks. Now, Pyroworks were, when they launched a few years back, did originally have 3 selection boxes in their catalogues that never materialised. This one, however, has now materialised. Let's have a little look at the inside of this. That's what's inside it. And there's quite a lot. I haven't been able to see this and fire this yet myself. I have seen some China footage, which is quite impressive. And let's have a look. There's a bit more of the contents there of that. And there we go, there's some of that as well. So that's quite exciting. It would be interesting to see that as and when it lands. I'm not sure the pricing yet on that because it is quite a powerful box. There is quite a lot in it, so we shall see. What else have we got coming? So, Vivid, let's talk. So Vivid have actually got some, we forgot to talk about these rockets, some new rockets coming from Vivid this year. Fire Flash is a pack of 8 rockets. Let's have a look at that. So a new pack of 8 rockets for 2025 from Vivid. 38mm diameter rockets with Firefly. And then we've also got a pack of 12 rockets called Legends. So here's Legends, and this is new for 2025. 12 rockets, a combination of 48mm tubes, 38mm tubes, and 24mm tubes in this. Yeah, the rockets look good. I've not fired any yet, so this is the footage that Vivid have put out. But these are good rockets. Oh, there we are, we've cut away from it. Bear with me, I'm still getting used to this brand new streaming system that lets me do all these multicam things. But you get the idea with that. So there's lots of new rockets coming from Vivid this year, which is quite exciting. So yeah, lots of new products coming. We're not going to go through every single new product that's landing because we'll be here all night. We literally would be here all night. But the themes, I think, this year, in terms of new products, the themes that I'm starting to see are multi-shot candles are going to become popular again, which is really good to see. And hummers, effects that kind of, well, if I play you a hummer, you'll get the idea of what they are. But I think they're going to be the two kind of standout effects this year that are really making a comeback. Let me see if I can find you a hummer to show you. So this is a new humming firework from Celtic Fireworks this year. This is called Hullabaloo. So yeah, that's oh, there we go, we cut back now. that's the example of a hummer cake, and there's quite a few brands that are bringing in hummers this year, which is good. They used to be quite popular several years ago, but then there were issues with, because they do have little plastic tubes in them, and obviously we're trying to move away from plastic and go more cardboard. The production process is improved now, so we do actually now have cardboard hummers, so that's why people are bringing them back in this year. So there's a few brands that are bringing them back in. That's Celtic's one, so that's very exciting. Looking forward to that. And then the other thing I mentioned was candles, multi-shot candles. I want to highlight a few. These are from Vulcan Fireworks, and these are multi-shot candles. These look really nice. I'm really excited for these as well. Let's have a look at some of these. This one again, this one's got hummers in. So some really nice candles coming along from Vulcan. Again, this isn't landed footage. This is footage that Vulcan have put out. The colour saturation does look like it's been tweaked a little bit, so whether these will look as good in real life, I'm not sure. But I think multi-shot candles do seem to be making a bit of a comeback this year, which is really exciting. I'm very excited by that. Because they used to be quite popular again, and they kind of went out of fashion a little bit. Vivid used to bring in quite a few, Celtic used to bring in quite a few, and they haven't brought any in for a number of years, so supplies have been dwindling. So it's nice to see these Vulcan ones coming back in. Celtic are also bringing in, still I don't know if Vivid are, it'd be nice if they did, but I don't think they are this year. But Celtic certainly bringing some in, Vulcan are bringing some in, so it's nice to see them making a comeback. Let's have a look at the, this is the Celtic one. Not great footage, and there's two being fired here, but this is called Blues and Twos. New 56 shot candles, I think, from Celtic Fireworks for this year. So let's wait for it, Again, this is footage that Celtic have put out, so this isn't my footage. But they look really nice candles too, so definitely I think 2025 is going to be the year of Hummers and the year of candles. And those are going to be the two things that we're going to see quite a few of. Of course, we're going to see lots of other fireworks as well, lots of barrages. Compounds seem to be becoming as popular as ever, so I'm sure we'll see lots more compounds as well. But yeah, candles and Hummers I think are going to be the ones to watch out for this year. I'd say these look quite smoky. Now again, it could have just been the atmospheric conditions when these were fired. They do look very smoky. So I'm looking forward to actually sort of seeing those in the flesh, as it were, and seeing what they like. But they look impressive. So yeah, new candles, new Hummers, lots of new stuff coming for 2025, which I'm very excited about. LSU Mum says those kind of sound like sirens. I think you mean the strobing rockets. I'll admit, when I first saw the China footage of those and I heard that sound, I didn't think it was the firework. I actually thought it was a flock of birds in a tree that had been scared off and flew off. I genuinely thought that. So really unusual sound. I've never heard anything like it in a rocket. So even though those rockets are expensive, I think they're going to be popular. Bright Star are bringing their own version as well. So these are not going to be the only strobe rockets that are available this year. There are going to be strobe rockets available. And if you've never heard one before, yes, they're expensive, but I guarantee your spectators won't have heard anything like this either, so they will enjoy them. It's worth it. So that's just a selection of a few of the fireworks that we're expecting this year from Vivid and from Vulcan, and a few things from Pyroworks as well. There's lots of other brands bringing out new products this year as well. Hopefully I'll get a chance to film and fire some of those and review those as well on my channel, so do stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed, and then you'll be notified whenever I upload new content, because as I say, I don't upload on a schedule. It's not like, oh, you're going to get a new video every Monday morning, anything like that. It's just as and when. Same with live streams. I wasn't really going to do this live stream today, but I just thought, why not? I've had a bit of a loose end. Let's live stream and chat to you guys and let you know that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I haven't disappeared. I'm still here, and there's lots more stuff coming up on my channel later in the year. I say I'm doing some displays, so we'll be doing some behind the scenes prep again. Last year we streamed, I ended up streaming pretty much every night for about 4 hours from my garage. I had no voice at the end of it. But I know you guys really enjoyed that. For the past several months, you've all been contacting me and saying, oh, are they coming back? Are we going to do those again? Yes, we're going to do those again. We share some safety stuff. We share some tips and tricks and how to get the best out of your fireworks. And we're always safe as well. We always promote safety on this channel, and everything's family friendly. So if you like what you see, do consider subscribing. So we got that coming up. What else have we got coming up? If you missed the announcement earlier, myself and my wife are pregnant again. We're having our second child in start of December, and in November, start of December. So there's going to be a live gender reveal with fireworks on my channel coming up in the next month or so. So you won't want to miss that. That's coming up as well. What else is coming up? Lots of stuff. I'm going to be at Arley Hall tomorrow. It's the Firework Champions. It's a competition that's held at a number of stately homes around the country, and tomorrow is Arley Hall. So there's 3 teams that compete to be the best, and the public get to vote on their phones, and then there's a closing display as well. So I'll be at Arley Hall tomorrow. I'm going to film some of that, and that will be on my channel in the next week or so, over the next week. So if you're at Arley Hall tomorrow, do come along and say hi. I don't bite. I'm quite happy to say hi to everyone. So that's tomorrow evening, Saturday. If you've not got tickets yet, tickets are still available. If you get them online, they're cheaper than on the gate. I think they're available online till about 2 p.m. tomorrow. And I think they're £30 for an adult. Under fives are free. And then on the gate, I think it's £35 for adults. So yeah, it's quite expensive, but it's a good evening of entertainment. 4 firework displays. There's meant to be a drone show as well. Whether that will happen, because it doesn't always happen at Arley Hall. Arley Hall is quite close to Manchester Airport, and so last time they weren't able to do a drone show. They did do a drone show the time before though, so we'll see. There may or may not be a drone show. There's meant to be a laser show as well. Again, we'll see. Lots of entertainment. So that's Arley Hall. Firework Champions tomorrow. I shall be there. May see some of you there. LSU Mum says congratulations. Thank you, Emily. Those were some of the best evenings last year building my fountain tables whilst... Yes, I know. That there was my most popular live streams. Because sometimes I live stream from my garden and do fireworks and stuff there, which I know is good fun and you enjoy that as well. But the number of people that have said they've really got a lot out of my behind the scenes prep streams in the evening, putting things together here. Some of you have been putting things together for your own displays at the same time whilst having me on in the background, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that last year, so we will definitely be doing that again. That will be kind of like towards the end of October, last sort of couple of weeks of October, start of November, something like that, on the run up to Bonfire Night, which of course is November the 5th. I'll be doing a display. I'll be doing a display in Liverpool again this year, and hopefully one in Manchester, but we'll see. That's still to be confirmed. We had a lot of trouble with that last year. I got the go-ahead, got all the fireworks, did all the prep on the stream, prepped the display, and then found out 2 days before that actually it wasn't going ahead, which was a bit disappointing. So I've still got that display ready to go. I'm hopefully going to get the permission and the go-ahead for that to happen this year. Haven't quite got it yet. We've got 3 months to go. So we'll see if that happens or not. But there's definitely going to be a display in Liverpool. So there's definitely going to be stuff to prep. And of course, there'll be a live stream on and around Bonfire Night from my back garden. We'll do some fireworks there. New Year's Eve as well. For the last several years, I've seen in New Year with you guys live at midnight UK time here with some fireworks in my back garden. We'll do the same again. So lots of good stuff coming up on my channel. Some more videos, some more landed footage of new fireworks for 2025 coming. And of course, that gender reveal coming up as well in the next month. So lots and lots of stuff happening. If you've enjoyed this kind of live stream looking at new fireworks for 2025, let me know. Maybe we'll do another one next week or so, and maybe we'll make a firework Friday. Maybe it'll become a bit of a semi-regular kind of thing, and we'll look at some new fireworks from other brands that are coming up in 2025. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll see. Let me know. If not, we'll see. But if there's an interest in that, maybe we'll live stream again. So do subscribe. 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 Talking's hard, folks. I still look back at those live streams that I did last year where I was streaming for like 4 or 5 hours talking the entire time. It's like, how did I do that? Well, I didn't do that. I lost my voice, which is why I ended up doing that every other night, because my voice took a day to recover. So we'll see. I'm a little bit out of practice, but let's do more of these live streams. I enjoy doing them. I know you guys enjoy watching them as well. So more live streams coming up from my garage and elsewhere. I would, if I could, live stream the fireworks tomorrow in Arley Hall, but one of the issues we have in the UK is that most of our firework displays happen in rural areas where there is very little signal. We don't get 5G there. We're very lucky if we get 4G in some of these places. So I have tried it before, and fortunately there's not the signal there. Otherwise I would live stream the firework champions tomorrow for you, but it's just not going to be possible. But I will record it, and that will be on my channel very soon. So we've been going just over an hour, so my voice is starting to go already. I'm out of practice, guys. So I think we'll wrap it up for today. So I primarily wanted to just come on and say hi to everyone, let you know I'm still here. Wanted to try out my new streaming setup. If you weren't here at the start, we now have a multicam setup. So we have this camera here, we have a camera here. So when I'm doing prep and stuff here, you'll get to see, you might get to see my shiny head, but you'll get to see the fireworks and stuff I'm doing on the table. We can also do kind of cool like cut screen, dual screen stuff here as well, which would be really cool. And then we've got the close-up cam, so we can do some close-ups of things if I want to show you them as well. So we've got lots of cool stuff coming up. We've gone back to the multi-view. Let's go back to that one. There we go. So new technology. I wanted to kind of try it out. I've been playing around with it. First time live with it tonight. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it'll make my streams more accessible, because I know in the past when we've done stuff from my garage, it's just been a single camera, and so trying to show you stuff close up, I've had to come round close to the camera, or you've not always been able to see me or what I'm doing or one or the other. So this multi-camera setup, hopefully is good. Hopefully you like it. Why not let me know in the comments or the chat? If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments, because you won't be able to let me know in the chat. Anyway, I'm rabbiting now. So I think we'll probably call it a day for today. LSU Mom says it looks good, nice setup. Yes, we've got new lighting as well. I'm still in my garage. If you've seen my garage before, you might have expected a white wall. I've kind of changed the layout, so the white wall is behind that camera. So I've basically just turned everything around 180 because I kind of thought this wall maybe was a little bit nicer than a white wall. And we got some nice uplighters and stuff and things like that. So yeah, I wanted to test this out for when we do the proper behind the scenes live streams closer to November. So that's primarily why I wanted to stream tonight. So thanks for joining me for that. There's been quite a few of you here. Some of you liked it. If you've not clicked like yet on this, click like, and that lets YouTube know that, you know, this kind of stream is worth putting out there. Is it? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it is. Of course it is. But click like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. More content on the way. It's been great to see everybody in the chat. Some familiar, I was going to say familiar faces, familiar names there in the chat. Thanks everybody for dropping in tonight. It's been great to see you. But yeah, I am still here. More content, more live streams coming soon. But until then, take care and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.